Chapter 161, Not Seeing Him as a Man. After hearing that, Ning Xi immediately tossed all her embarrassment to the back of her head. You're done? With all of it? Lu Tingxiao nodded and indicated for her to take a look herself. Ning Xi was worried that she wouldn't understand at first, but in the end, she found that Lu Tingxiao wasn't trying to get her to look at those complicated lines of code, but was simply showing her the results on the screen. The IP address of the sender was traced back to the apartment building that Ning Xueluo stayed in, Pearl River Grand View. The owner of the anonymous overseas account was Kui Kaijing, Ning Xueluo's assistant. I thought this kind of hacking only existed on TV. Especially hacking into anonymous accounts since they're super safe. You have to enter the bank's system to crack one, it's practically impossible. Ning Xi was so excited that she couldn't speak for a long moment. Finally, she threw her arms around Lu Tingxiao, big boss. You're amazing. Lu Tingxiao. Right then and there, Lu Tingxiao found that he could no longer avoid facing a problem. Ning Xi completely trusted in him now, but she had too much faith in him, to the point that she had forgotten that he was a man. To put it simply, she was now treating him like a mentor and a good friend. She even took him for a father at times, but never saw him as a man. This was a huge problem. However, it was also a good omen. The time that he was waiting for was imminent. It was only after he had settled his turbulent emotions that Lu Tingxiao spoke up and asked her a question. What are you going to do with all this evidence? There's no hurry to make this evidence public. Let Ning Xueluo continue stirring up trouble. The more trouble she stirs up, the harder she'll be hit when the time comes. I'm preparing. Preparing what? Lu Tingxiao, hold me for a bit, why do I feel like the floor is shaking? Just as she said shaking, Ning Xi's vision turned black and she collapsed to the floor with a thump. Ning Xi Lu Tingxiao's expression abruptly changed and he hurriedly caught her. Pub Future Ads. The soft body in his arms was on fire. He reached out and touched her forehead, and it was scalding hot. He had sensed this heat previously, but he thought that he was simply imagining things. He hadn't thought that she was really ill. Lu Tingxiao picked up the person in his arms and hurriedly ran downstairs. Uncle Yuan. Prepare the car. The old butler was shocked upon seeing the situation. What happened to Miss Xi? I don't know. Lu Tingxiao was panicking so much that his usual icy mask had cracked. He didn't know. He didn't know if it was the remainder of the drugs in her system, or if she was simply having a fever. Or perhaps that Zhu Xiangcheng had given her something else. Right now, Lu Tingxiao was submerged in self-blame. He should have brought her to the hospital for a checkup at the first possible moment. However, not only had he not done so, he had even delayed sending her to the hospital for so long. He had also tired her out by keeping her so busy. So much had happened, she must have been under tremendous pressure. She had probably reached her limit, holding on up till now. Eldest young master, don't get too nervous, it looks like Miss Xi is only having a fever. Why don't we call the family doctor to take a look? However, Lu Tingxiao was already deaf to all suggestions. The driver brought the car over and he immediately carried her on board, to the hospital. After saying so, he then turned to the butler standing outside the car and instructed him, call Qin Mufeng over as well. Yes sir. The butler could only helplessly agree. If he had still been uncertain before, seeing how eldest young master was acting now, everything would be made clear. This girl was most likely going to be their future eldest young mistress. Chapter 162, My Wife is Too Cute. When the butler called Qin Mufeng, he had been pulled to a bar by Lu Jingli and they were exchanging gossip while drinking. When they heard that Ning Xi had fainted, the two of them immediately rushed to the hospital. In the First People's Hospital, the VIP ward on the top floor. The moment Qin Mufeng and Lu Jingli reached the ward, they saw Ning Xi lying on the bed, her face as white as snow. She was hooked up to N4, and Lu Tingxiao was sitting by her bed with an imposing, overcast expression. Lu Jingli and Qin Mufeng exchanged glances, clearly frightened by Lu Tingxiao's face. At this moment, a nurse walked in carrying a tray of medicine. Lu Jingli hurriedly pulled her aside to ask quietly, "How's the patient? What's the problem? Is it serious?" "The patient is running a fever at 39.6 degrees Celsius. The nurse replied. "Oh, a fever. What? A fever?" Lu Jingli was stupefied. "Are you sure it's a fever?" "It's just a fever." "Yes, we're sure. We've already done a full body checkup, there's no problem at all, please don't worry. The mister in the ward has already asked us quite a few times." The nurse replied without a shred of impatience, because the guy in the ward, and these two standing at the entrance, were too handsome. She was willing to answer them even if they asked her the same question 100 times over. Lu Jingli held onto the door frame weakly and patted his still pounding heart. "Bro, are you trying to scare me to death? She's only having a fever, why do you look like she just got a terminal disease?" Qin Mufeng also showed a helpless expression. "You even called me over. Although I'm a doctor, I heal minds, not the body." Lu Tingxia raised his gaze and swept a cold glance at Qin Mufeng. "Since Ning Xi has already replaced you, perhaps I should save on this expense." He clearly meant that he was going to fire him. The amount that he paid Qin Mufeng every year wasn't cheap. Please don't. Other than curing little treasure, I have other uses. I'm acquainted with a famous nutritionist in this hospital, I'll call him over now to create a nutrition plan for Ning Xi. Pub future ads. Qin Mufeng felt a little guilty. Ever since Ning Xi had come, he had been rather idle. Little Treasure and Lu Tingxiao hardly needed him now, even their weekly therapy sessions had been cancelled. After Qin Mufeng left, Lu Jingli saw that Lu Tingxiao had his head bent over his phone and couldn't help asking, "Bro, what are you looking at?" When had his brother become a youngster addicted to the internet? In the end, when he walked closer, he was shocked. His brother had actually copied the surveillance footage from before into his phone. "What the heck? Bro, what are you doing watching this? Xiao Zixi looks so scary. When I was watching this video, I felt goosebumps all over. I can't tell if she's acting or if she's for real." Lu Jingli shivered as he spoke. However, right now, his brother was actually playing it on loop and even had a mystical expression that practically broadcasted his thoughts. "My wife is too cute." He was really, beyond hope. "Really, your two hearts are linked as one, even the way you think is the same. Simple and violent. Tisk tisk, you're really one family." Lu Jingli lamented. Lu Tingxiao stroked the face of the girl lying on the sick bed, his pride in her as clear as day. To prevent his single dog eyes from getting blinded, Lu Jingli turned his head away from the overly romantic sight. "You must have found the culprit's identity by now, right? Is the next step announcing it on the internet to help Xiao Zixi clear her name? I'll go do it right now." Chapter 163, His tastes aren't that extreme. A cold glint flashed through the depths of Lu Tingxiao's eyes. "There's no hurry." Lu Jingli rubbed his chin. "That's right, we have our trump card anyway. Let her cause more trouble. That way, it'll be more fun when the time comes. Prepare a contract for Ning Xi." Lu Tingxiao instructed. Hearing this, Lu Jingli's eyes immediately lit up. "A contract? Bro, you're finally preparing to bring sister-in-law into Golden Age. Prepare a set of the profiles of all the managers in Golden Age for me too." His words could be counted as an indirect reply to Lu Jingli's question. I got it. You're going to pick a manager for Xiao Zixi personally? Geez, if you gave me 0.001% of the same treatment you give to Xiao Zixi, I'd be pretty satisfied." Lu Jingli complained in a sour tone. Hearing this, Lu Tingxiao cast a sideways glance at him and suddenly reached towards him with one hand. Lu Jingli thought he was going to beat him and subconsciously retreated backwards to duck his hand. What did I say wrongly this time? In the end, Lu Tingxiao simply reached out to pat the back of his neck. A gesture that was extremely intimate coming from his brother. Lu Jingli was overwhelmed by the unexpected favor and was about to ascend into heaven. Even his ears had turned a little red. Bro, what are you doing? Lu Tingxiao frowned as he looked at him, but his tone was very gentle. Don't just think about playing all day, work hard and find someone you like to spend the rest of your days with. Lu Jingli had a stunned expression on for a moment before his body shuddered harshly. Oh my god! You're scaring me! Bro, getting such warm treatment from you suddenly is even scarier than when you beat me up. Marriage is important. I'll take care of it for you when we get back. Lu Tingxiao spoke up. Oh! Please don't! Bro, just let me continue roaming freely. Please let me go free. I won't poke at you anymore. Please continue being your usual cold self. Lu Jingli almost peed his pants in fright. What if his brother picked a woman as scary as he was? What if he picked a woman like Xiao Zixi? He definitely wouldn't be able to handle her. His tastes aren't that extreme. He likes gentle women. Lu Jingli suddenly grew some wit in the middle of his emergency. Bro, it's not up to us men to worry about stuff like that. Why don't you wait until you've settled down with sister-in-law and then let sister-in-law introduce someone to me? My sister-in-law surely has great insight. Pub future ads. Lu Tingxiao pondered it for a moment after hearing the suggestion. Okay. Lu Jingli patted his chest and heaved a sigh of relief. That was a narrow escape. He had gone through girlfriends pretty quickly in the past, but now it was already close to half a year that he had remained single. For some reason, he had started to feel that there was no meaning to dating. Presently, he really didn't want to start dating again at all. Especially after seeing his brother with Ning Xi, it made him feel like the love he had had in the past was meaningless. Alright, he admitted it. He was jealous. He was jealous that his brother had finally managed to find his true love despite waiting for 32 years. He didn't know if he would ever find his in his lifetime. The more he thought about it, the sadder he got, so he firmly chose not to stay here and continue getting abused by displays of affection. Bro, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave first. I'll quickly prepare the things you want and send them over. Bye. It wasn't until the evening of the next day that Ning Xi finally woke up. When she opened her eyes again, she felt like her body was floating. Her mind was fuzzy, and it felt like the previous day had happened a lifetime ago. When Lu Tingxiao pushed the ward door open, this was the scene that met his eyes. Under the glow of the sunset from outside the window, the girl dressed in a loose hospital gown looked like she had just woken up. She sat in obvious confusion on the pure white hospital bed, a dazed expression on her face, drawing sympathy and affection, as well as the overwhelming urge to pull her into his arms. Chapter 164, Do you have the strength to eat? You've woken up. Lu Tingxiao was afraid of startling her, so he walked over with light steps. He patted her gently on the head with his large palm. Lu Tingxiao, Ning Xi's response was a little slow as she looked at him. Yes, how do you feel? Ning Xi was bewildered. Is this the hospital? What happened to me? You fainted yesterday with a fever of 39 degrees. Upon thinking back to how she had suddenly collapsed yesterday, Lu Tingxiao couldn't control his darkening expression. Ning Xi scratched her head. I was having a fever? Why can't I feel any strength in my body now? That must be from hunger. You've already slept for almost an entire day and night. Lu Tingxiao helped her to set up the meal table before bringing a pillow for her back. I guessed that you were about to wake up, so I bought you dinner. Thank you. Ning Xi looked at the man busying himself with setting up things and pursed her lips. She couldn't resist reaching out to touch his chin. The warmth from her fingertips made Lu Tingxiao startle. His gaze was warm as he looked at the girl. Is something wrong? Ning Xi's brows were furrowed together as she looked at his haggard appearance and the stubble on his chin. Were you taking care of me the whole night? Even your stubble has grown out. It's fine, I slept for a bit. Actually, he hadn't closed his eyes for even a minute and hadn't had the mood to clean up. It wasn't until she had woken up that his heart had finally settled down. Eat. It's not good for you to eat oily food right now, so I only got you some porridge. I'll buy something tastier when you get well. Lu Tingxiao passed the bowl of porridge and a spoon to her. Do you have the strength to eat? Do you need me to help? Ning Xi didn't make any sound or movement. Lu Tingxiao raised his head to look at her in suspicion. Is something the matter? Does it hurt anywhere? I'll go call the doctor. Ning Xi hurriedly pulled him back. I'm fine. I'm just not fully awake yet, I zoned out. Lu Tingxiao relaxed and said, what you need now is plenty of rest, don't let your thoughts run wild. Okay. Ning Xi nodded and focused on eating her porridge. However, she looked like she was miles away, like her mind had gone away on a journey. Lu Tingxiao was treating her so well that she was terrified. It wasn't like she hadn't noticed the way he treated her from the start. However, she had been ignoring it on purpose, and she even got used to it eventually. Everything that the man before her had done, was it really just for the sake of repaying the debt of gratitude? Even if he took her as a friend, who would go this far for their friends? There were just way too many things she needed to take care of, so that thought simply flashed through her mind and disappeared. Pub Future Ads. After her meal, Ning Xi finally regained some of her energy. She quickly banished the chaotic thoughts in her head and started to get down to business. Lu Tingxiao, is my phone here? Lu Tingxiao showed his displeasure on his face. I just said that you need to get plenty of rest. Ning Xi held her hands together in a begging gesture. I've already rested enough by sleeping for so long, and I just ate my fill. If you don't let me do something now, mold will start growing on me. Lu Tingxiao saw that she did look much better, and he couldn't resist her puppy eyes, so he took out her phone and passed it to her. Following that, he brought over the thermometer. Measure your temperature. Ning Xi obediently opened up and held the thermometer in her mouth. She then opened a web page and started checking the latest entertainment news. However, when she saw the latest headlines, schemes abound on the set of Land Under Heaven, femme fatale stops at nothing to rise in the ranks. Ning Xueluo's injury, was it an accident or was it a planned murder? Starlight Entertainment upholds their boycott of unfair competition, protecting the right to safety for their artistes. Ning Xueluo's office has issued a lawyer's letter. Ning Xi disappeared from the face of the earth, no response thus far. Chapter 165, You deserve to be called the Great Demon King. Following that, Ning Xi opened up her Weibo only to see her entire screen covered in abuse. This time, it was several times worse than the incident with Jia Qingqing. After all, Ning Xueluo was much more popular than Jia Qingqing and her fans were more formidable. That bitch Ning Xi has been hiding from the public eye for so long, she's definitely feeling guilty. She couldn't possibly have run away after seeing how her plot was exposed, right? After all, she could be charged with attempted murder this time around. If they file a lawsuit, she's definitely going to jail. She might have gotten trashed the first time because of someone else's jealousy, but with incidents like this happening so often, it's a sure sign that there's something wrong with her character. Not to mention, she was caught with evidence this time. Ning Xueluo is famous for being a good person within the entertainment industry. She even repeatedly stood up for Ning Xi as her senior. I really didn't expect Ning Xi to bite the hand that feeds her and commit such a low crime. It's all thanks to people like her that the entertainment industry is becoming more corrupt. Don't you guys feel like everything was planned by Ning Xi? First, she got rid of Jia Qingqing to secure her position as the second female lead, and now she's plotting to bring down Ning Swaluo so that she can take the role of the first female lead. It's extremely frightening once you think about it. She's too scary. As expected, all beautiful women are bad news. Liu Tingxiao frowned when he caught sight of the malicious comments on her phone. His brows drew together as he spoke, "Stop reading them." Sitting cross-legged with a thermometer in her mouth, Ning Xi gave a muffled response, "It's fine. Reading these is actually pretty fun. Focus on measuring your temperature. Stop speaking." "Oh. You were the one who started talking to me." When the measurement was done, Liu Tingxiao looked at the thermometer, 37.1 degrees. Pleased, Ning Xi immediately said, "Didn't I say that I was fine? In fact, I'm in great health. Can I leave the hospital now? Stay a few more days for observation." "Ah? I still have to stay. But I miss darling little treasure." Ning Xi brought up little treasure in a desperate measure. "He's already on the way over." Liu Tingxiao's tone didn't allow for any leeway. Alright then," Ning Xi was finally speechless. Liu Tingxiao put away the dining tray and then sat down on a chair by the bed. "What are you planning to do next?" Ning Xi suddenly recalled something. "I was just about to ask you that. Could you send a copy of the evidence to my phone? I'm going to forward it to someone." Liu Tingxiao shot her a glance, "Zhangjiang." Even though Ning Xi was already used to Liu Tingxiao's killer IQ, she still couldn't help but feel impressed. "You deserve to be called Big Boss. You're too smart. I'm planning to let these two dogs bite each other by making Zhangjiang extort money from Ning Swaluo with the evidence we found." Ning Xi coughed dryly after she finished speaking in excitement. She looked rather uneasily at Liu Tingxiao. "Am I being too malicious?" Liu Tingxiao didn't respond to her question. Instead, he replied with his analysis. "The main issue with this method is that there's nothing in it for you and it lets Zhangjiang off the hook too easily." Ning Xi scratched her head. "You're right, but my goal is to mess with Ning Swaluo. I didn't really give much thought to anything else." After contemplating for a moment, Liu Tingxiao spoke, "Why don't you extort her yourself instead of letting Zhangjiang reap the benefits?" Ning Xi's eyes almost popped out from astonishment upon hearing that. Is that okay? Why not?" Liu Tingxiao answered her question with one of his own. He immediately continued his analysis. "Going by Ning Swaluo's finances, you can probably ask her for about 8 million. This is the best opportunity for you to cancel your contract with Starlight and you can use that money to pay off the penalty fee." After listening to Liu Tingxiao, Ning Xi couldn't find any words to speak. She had only wanted to incite others at most, but this great demon king was really something else. Not only was he looking down on her actions, he actually started teaching her how to be even more evil. Chapter 166, A Faster Way. That really was a perfect way to settle things. However, the thought of carrying out extortion herself didn't sit too well with her conscience. Ning Xi bit her lip as she recalled everything that had occurred that night. Shortly afterwards, she sneered inwardly. Ah, what was there to feel bad about? They had already reached this point. Ning Xi quickly made up her mind. "Okay, send the evidence to me and I'll go contact Ning Swaluo. There's no need to do it yourself. I'll do it for you so that no one will be able to trace your IP address." Liu Tingxiao responded. At this point, Ning Xi had started looking at Liu Tingxiao like he was a god. She spoke with starry eyes. "Great God Liu, this skill of yours is really too OP. Are you accepting any students?" Liu Tingxiao's mood improved quite a bit upon seeing the worship in the girl's expression. He glanced at her. "Nope." Ning Xi's face was immediately filled with disappointment. Oh. Of course he wasn't accepting any disciples. Big Boss Liu had so much to do on his plate every day. How could he possibly accept any students? Liu Tingxiao stared at her with hidden meaning. "If you want to acquire this skill, there's actually a faster way." "What?" What? Ning Xi asked with renewed energy. Lu Tingxiao, marry me. If she married him, then everything that was his would become hers. She wouldn't need to learn anything then. Ning Xi broke out into a coughing fit and almost choked on her own spit. She couldn't actually find any faults with this method of his. But, was she getting flirted with again? Lu Tingxiao enjoyed the girl's embarrassed expression for a moment before he asked, have you thought about which company you'll join after terminating your contract? Ning Xi rubbed her chin, well. I'm still thinking about that. Speaking in an extremely casual tone, Lu Tingxiao said, after you prove your innocence this time around, your popularity will be on par with second and top-tier actors. When the time comes, it'll be easy to find your next company. Ning Xi sighed, actually, it's quite troublesome. There won't be much competition if I want to enter a small company, but the future prospects are slim. Meanwhile, it's hard to get into a large company without some sort of background. It seems like I'm getting a lot of exposure right now, but all of it is built on top of scandals. I don't even have a single completed project, so I'm in a pretty awkward position. Oh, Teacher Lu, do you have any suggestions? Pub future ads. Pub future ads. Ning Xi had already subconsciously started looking to Lu Tingxiao for his opinion when it came to making important decisions. Lu Tingxiao poured her a glass of water and replied, from my perspective as a businessman, you're an investment with a lot of potential. I'm interested in seeing the value you'll create in the future. Therefore, I hope that you can join Golden Age. When she heard his words, Ning Xi's eyes opened wide and it took her a long while to recover. Big boss, are you personally poaching me right now? Lu Tingxiao chuckled, you could put it that way. I really do want to poach you. Will you come? Damn! Shouldn't that tone he was using be considered a foul? Ning Xi gulped and calmed herself down. She then spoke with a serious expression, to tell you the truth, if all goes well and I can leave Starlight smoothly, Golden Age is the company that I would like to enter the most. Golden Age has already surpassed Starlight to become the industry's top entertainment company. And its future prospects are undoubtedly the best. Lu Tingxiao nodded with satisfaction and extended his hand, well then, let's have a successful partnership. Ah! Ning Xi subconsciously extended her hand, let's have a successful partnership. What? What just happened? They started working together just like that? She had already reached an agreement with Golden Age just like that? The Great Demon King was also pretty efficient at poaching people. Chapter 167, Our Feelings Are Mutual. Our partnership has been settled just like that. Ning Xi was still somewhat dazed. I've taken an interest in you and you're also interested in Golden Age. Our feelings are mutual, are there any problems? Lu Tingxiao replied her question with one of his own. Our feelings are mutual. The way he used that phrase. Lu Tingxiao was the last person in the world that Ning Xi would want to cause trouble for. Therefore, she asked very solemnly, are you sure that you don't need to think it over some more? I think that I can be quite the troublemaker. What if I cause trouble for you in the future? Why would you need a management company if you could handle everything yourself? That's exactly why I exist. Oh, Ning Xi rubbed her nose. In any case, she had discovered that even though the Great Demon King was a man of few words, every word he spoke carried a great deal of weight. She couldn't win him in a battle of words. Ning Xi thought carefully for a moment. Since Starlight had wronged her so many times while she was under their management, it was only natural for her to ask for the termination of their contract and no one would use the topic to malign her. Now that the penalty fee was settled and clearing her name was just a matter of time, it was unlikely that she would bring Lu Tingxiao any trouble. After reflecting for a bit, she was finally able to rest at ease. Big boss, I'll definitely work hard to earn you money to repay your kindness in hiring me. You won't be disappointed. Ning Xi immediately expressed her sincerity to her boss. She was still confident in her abilities. Lu Tingxiao smiled slightly, okay, I'm looking forward to that. At that moment, Ning Xi's cell phone suddenly rang. The caller ID showed Corrupted Devil King. Zhang Weiyai had called many times previously, but she had been too busy and then she had suddenly fallen ill. There simply hadn't been any time to call him back. Ning Xi didn't try to hide anything from Lu Tingxiao. She went ahead and accepted the call. Hello? Zhang. Before she had a chance to speak, a roar that almost shattered her eardrums came from the phone. Ning Xiao Xi, where the hell are you? Why are you playing around at a time like this? Do you know how badly people have been shitting on you? He had gone to the Lu residence once to find her, only to be told by the butler that she wasn't there, and neither was Lu Tingxiao. That day just happened to be her birthday and the two of them had disappeared at the same time. What else could he imagine? Ning Xi speechlessly rubbed her ear. Who's been playing around? I'm at the freaking hospital. Zhang Weiyai was stunned for a moment before his tone immediately turned anxious. What? You're in the hospital? What happened to you? Did you get beaten up by someone? Ning Xi frowned slightly. You're the one who got beaten up. I just had a fever, that's all. Which hospital are you at? I'll come over to see you right away. There's no need for that. You're so busy, just focus on your family matters first. My fever has already gone down and Lu Tingxiao is here with me. Little treasure will be coming over later too. The person on the other end suddenly went silent for a couple of seconds. Then, she heard Zhang Weiyai speak gloomily, Ning Xi, have you looked at the email I sent you yet? Not yet. I haven't had the time. I've been dealing with one problem after the other ever since 2 days ago and I haven't had a single moment of rest. It's a long story, but I'll tell you about it later when I have the time. Zhang Weiyai took a deep breath, remember to look at it as soon as possible. Also, I need to ask you, what are you planning to do about the situation with Ning Suoluo? I was going to help you find that bastard Zhang Qiang, but when I sent someone to deal with him, his place was already completely empty. You're part of Starlight so I can't use my company's PR department, but I consulted with Ming Ji and I've contacted a reliable public relations team for you. Ning Xi responded gratefully, thanks for that, Zhang Weiyai, but that won't be necessary. I've already gotten some evidence that will prove my innocence. Zhang Weiyai ground his teeth together. Was it Lu Tingxiao again? Chapter 168, Pampering her a little more. I got that evidence myself, okay. But Lu Tingxiao did help me out a lot later on. Alright, I get it. It's good that you're okay. I'm hanging up. Remember to look at my email. Keeping in consideration that she was still sick, Zhang Weiyai restrained his temper. Since he didn't have the mood to ask about how Lu Tingxiao had saved the damsel in distress, he just hung up after speaking in a forceful tone. Damn it! If that Lu Tingxiao hadn't used some underhanded means to stall him, he would be by her side right now. He should be the one helping her through all those difficulties. Shameless, so shameless. Was that Zhang Weiyai? Lu Tingxiao casually asked. It was. He asked if I needed any help. He even said he sent me an email. I wonder what it is? He keeps reminding me to look at it, acting all mysterious. It's probably some birthday prank. He did the same last year, when he sent me a really scary prank video. I was so angry I had to beat him up 3 times before I finally vented all my anger. Ning Xi mumbled her complaints. She wasn't in any hurry to look at the email. She continued looking through her text messages and missed calls to see if there was anyone else she needed to reply. Most of the missed calls were from unfamiliar numbers, and were most probably from the media. When she reached the end of the call log, she saw a familiar name. The missed call had been made on her birthday. Looking at those 2 words, Ning Xi's indifferent expression turned warm. I thought he forgot my birthday. Who is it? Lu Tingxiao subconsciously turned tense. My little brother, Tang Niu. Lu Tingxiao nodded and relaxed without any change in his expression. He thought it would be her ex. He was about to turn into someone who jumped at every new person appearing in her life. Ning Xi immediately called him back. Hello, Xiaoniu. Gee, you finally called me back. How are you doing now? Are you okay? Did those people make trouble for you? I saw the news in the papers. Don't worry, I'm fine. But I saw that woman is trying to sue you. I'm not an easy target. We'll see who's going to be the one getting sued in the end. You're really fine. I'm really fine. If you continue worrying so much, I'll start suspecting that you're 70 instead of 17. Ning Xi paused for a moment, but, you're believing me just like that? What if I really lost my mind and purposely stabbed Ning Suoluo to get her role? The young teen's voice sounded clear and bright even through the phone. Why would I believe in others before believing my own dear sister? Warmth spread in Ning Xi's heart upon hearing this. You little brat. What a sweet talker. I'll stop worrying now that I know you're fine. Oh yeah, I haven't wished you a happy birthday, and it's already passed. It's fine, it's the same even if you say it now. Thank you, my dear, handsome, sweet little brother. Stop being so mushy. I'm not going to talk to you anymore, school is about to start, I have to finish my summer homework. Alright, go. Work hard, young un. After the call, Ning Xi was in high spirits. Seeing how happy she was, Lu Tingxiao's mood lifted together with hers. You have a good relationship with your brother. Yet, although we're not related by blood, we've always gotten along very well together. I told you that my grandmother valued males more than females when I was young, right? Back then, if there was any good food around, only Xiaoniu was allowed to eat it. I wouldn't even be allowed to eat at the table. However, Xiaoniu would always hide some of it for me to eat. Whenever grandmother found me an eyesore and tried to cause trouble for me, he would jump out to protect me. He's a really good kid. As she spoke, Ning Xi's spirits seemed to dampen. Isn't it strange? The ones I'm actually related to treat me like a sworn enemy, but someone I'm not related to at all treats me like family. I should have realized that benefits always outweigh kinship in those circles. Lu Tingxiao gently patted the girl's lowered head. You'll find better family. Each time he heard her speak of her childhood, he couldn't resist pampering her a little more, as if doing so would make up for everything she had missed out on. Chapter 169, She really wants to steal him away. After Ning Xi finished going through her call logs, she continued reading her text messages. When she reached the last one, she stared blankly at it for a moment. My dear, I've really underestimated your guts. Sender, YS. Why did this guy send her a message like that out of the blue? What had she done? Lu Tingxiao had deleted the call log, so Ning Xi naturally didn't know that the two men had talked to each other that night. Is something wrong? Lu Tingxiao asked upon realizing that her expression didn't seem right. Nothing, she just took it for a fit of madness from that person and just ignored it. Ning Xi put down her phone and asked, when is little treasure coming over? Pub future ads. He should be reaching soon. The moment she heard that, Ning Xi subconsciously touched her hair. Where's the hair clip that little treasure gave to me? It's here, I helped you put it away previously. Lu Tingxiao pulled the bedside drawer open and handed the pink hair clip over to her. Ning Xi happily put it on. Looking at the hair clip on Ning Xi's head, a trace of regret flitted across Lu Tingxiao's heart. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have given her a gun. If he had given her a necklace, bracelet, or earrings, she might have been able to wear it on her all the time. Actually, he had already prepared a gift early on, a ring. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right time to give it to her. While the two of them were conversing, a knock sounded at the door. Ning Xi slipped out from the bed and went to open the door. As expected, Little Treasure had arrived. "Darling, you're here." After Little Treasure entered the ward, the first thing he did was to pull at her clothes urgently with his little paws, seemingly asking for her to bend lower. "What's up?" Ning Xi squatted down. Little Treasure immediately knocked his forehead against hers with a completely serious expression. Ning Xi couldn't resist laughing out loud. Darling, are you checking my temperature?" "Relax, I just used the thermometer to take my temperature, the fever's gone." Little Treasure still had a worried expression on his face. He stared with an expression of heartache at the bruise left on the back of her hand from the foredrip. Ning Xi wrapped the little guy up in her embrace and comforted him with pats. "Don't frown anymore, all of Auntie's pain flew away the moment Auntie saw you." The little bun was practically a miracle cure. She really wanted to steal him away. Pub future ads. "Do you want to go downstairs for a walk?" Lu Tingxiao suggested. Yes. She felt like moving her body a little after sleeping the whole day. It wasn't good to trap Little Treasure in the ward with her either. The three of them passed by another ward on the way to the elevator. There were a bunch of reporters wielding cameras crowding outside the ward, raising a huge clamor and fighting to interview the woman inside the ward. "Swallow, have you managed to contact Ning Xi yet?" "Not yet, there's been no news of her. Ning Xi is trying to abscond from fear of her arrest." "Is there anything you'd like to say about this? What do you intend to do next?" I don't know. I still don't believe that she would do something like that even now. We've heard that Ning Corporation and Starlight Entertainment have both withdrawn their sponsorship to express their objections. Has there been any reply from the production team? Are they going to replace Ning Xi? I'm not sure about that, you can ask the representative of the production team. If Ning Xi reappears and apologizes to you, will you forgive her? If she's heartfelt about her regret, I can personally forgive her mistake. However, the negative impact she has made on the entertainment circle isn't something that can be resolved by a simple apology, and it's not up to me to forgive that." Ning Xi unexpectedly bumped into a scene where Ning Swallow was playing her part as an innocent flower to the fullest. She couldn't help but frown. It was only now that she realized she was staying in the same hospital as Ning Swallow, and they were even on the same floor. It was at this moment that one of the reporters noticed Ning Xi standing near the elevator right in front of the ward. He abruptly shouted in surprise, "Ning Xi!" Chapter 170, How could it be Ning Xi? Ning Xi? Where? Ning Xi's here? That can't be. She actually dared to appear here. Over there. In an instant, all the reporters looked over and started to bring up their cameras, ready to shoot the latest headlines. Ning Xi's brows drew together. Her first reaction was to protect Little Treasure and not to let them scare him. She wasn't too bothered about protecting herself. However, without waiting for her to cover the little bun, she felt a large palm press her head into a warm embrace. Following that, the little bun's soft, tiny hand grasped one of her hands tightly, as if reassuring her and telling her not to be afraid. As for those reporters, they all stopped 10 steps away from them. 2 tall men in sunglasses and suits had appeared out of nowhere. With fierce expressions, they blocked the reporters' path like bouncers. "Hey, who are you? Get out of the way. Good dogs don't block the way." One of the reporters was so focused on grabbing the juicy news that he blurted out words without thinking. However, there was a quick-witted person in the crowd who quickly pulled back the speaker and spoke with an extremely frightened expression, as if he had seen something terrifying. "Are you crazy? Those are bodyguards from the Lu Corporation." Lu? Surely you don't mean that Lu? You don't say. How many Lus are there in this capital? How do you know that? It's not like it's carved on their faces. Are you stupid? Can't you see the symbol on their uniforms? After getting reminded, everyone retreated as one, taking 3 steps back. Those who had lashed out hurriedly apologized in panic. "Hey, brothers, sorry about that, sorry. We were too blind to recognize MT Tai. Please don't hold it against us." Heavens! These were the Lu family's private bodyguards? Then who were the 3 people behind them? The reporters tried to peep behind the bodyguards, but when their eyes slid past the men in suits, all of them retreated back with pale faces. The tall man currently embracing a woman in his arms had a face like frost and looked like a god. However, his gaze was far too fierce right now, and his aura was too oppressive. The more experienced reporters were usually good at reading people, and they could tell that it wouldn't be good to provoke this man. Thus, they calmed down at the same time and realized that there was something fishy about the situation. "What Ning Xi? You must have seen wrongly. They're a family of 3. How could that woman be Ning Xi? Pub future ads. Pub future ads. That's right. Have you gone crazy while thinking too much about snatching up juicy news? Going around thinking that any random stranger looks like Ning Xi? That person can't be trifled with. Are you trying to kill us all?" All the reporters started to complain against the person who had spotted Ning Xi. It was probably my mistake. But she does look a little like Ning Xi, didn't you guys think so too? How are they alike at all? That Ning Xi is a cruel and wicked woman. This lady has a noble and refined air, and she's clearly a good wife and mother. How could they be the same person? That's right. She looks like such a sweet lady and she's so cute. How could she possibly be Ning Xi, that bewitching bitch? At this moment, the elevator arrived with a ding. The reporters were still lamenting on the spot when the family of 3 had already disappeared into the elevator. "Wow, did you see that little boy just now? He's too cute. He looked like he was carved from the same mold as that man just now. They're definitely father and son. What relation does that man have to the Lu family? His aura was so scary. I keep getting the feeling that that man looked a little familiar. Why do I feel like? He seems a little like the god of fortune himself. Now that you mention it. They do look similar. That boy, could he be the legendary little prince?